Hi, my name is Patrick Warren, and I am a multimedia storyteller. My project is called Distance 25 Years Later, and it is a Pepper's Ghost projection project that addresses what it'll be like to explain the COVID-19 pandemic in the future. So this project began while I was in grad school at ITP. We were in the middle of the COVID pandemic, and that was all I could think about. So all of my projects ended up being about COVID in one way or the other. The first version of this was an augmented reality journal that I kept at my house. The idea was that someone could come into my apartment, years later, and with this app, they could see all the stuff that I did, from the confines of my apartment. Moving on from that, I felt that that first version was a little too personal in the sense that the story was bigger than just my own experience. So I thought of ways to make it more of a community reflection on COVID. In that version, I created a Pepper's Ghost box with materials that I found at home. So like a picture frame, Amazon shipping box, and some copper plates and an Arduino. And then I asked friends to record themselves doing things that they did in their homes during quarantine. And with that, I made a little Pepper's Ghost projection where if you touch the sides of the box, you see projections of people in 3D space doing what they do. So it felt like I had like miniature versions of my friends in my house during COVID. So it felt like I was getting some people back in my life. For this current version, Distance 25 Years Later, I introduced the idea of speculation into the future. I asked people what it was like in the beginning, what it was like, after the vaccine, but then also I asked people to speculate on what it would be like when the pandemic was over. As you walk up to this VNTANA Concierge, which is a Pepper's Ghost projection display, and there's a controller with a button and two handles. Following prompts on the screen, you're either pressing the button or holding the handles. As you're going through it, it's like the handles have little rubber hands on them, and so it's like you're holding someone's hands, and as they're telling you their story. You get 3 different answers. I believe I interviewed 10 people, so 10 people, 3 questions each. There's 1,000 different combinations, so hopefully you never get the same thing twice. So for this project, there was a couple different components. There was the VNTANA Concierge, which is a Pepper's Ghost display. There was my hand-built controller, which is using Arduino, buttons and handles, FSRs to sense the handles. And then on the back end, it was all run through Max MSP. I don't necessarily want this to be a happy experience. I want people just to feel what they feel, and to process that. Whether that is happiness, whether that's sadness, that's not for me to prescribe, but I do want people to feel things. So through the reflection, through the imagination, I hope to get people just to feel. For more information on my work, you could find me on my website, patconwar.com. That's patconwar.com, or on Instagram at patlikeThat. Thanks.